How many freight forwarders are there in the UK? The freight forwarders in the UK is the most advanced in Europe. This will stay the same because there are so many options, and e-commerce is becoming more popular. Freight forwarders plan how to move and store products, materials, and services from the beginning of the supply chain to the end consumer. This includes shipping, getting rid of, packaging, moving, storing, and keeping things safe. When we talk about freight forwarders, we also need to talk about how e-commerce is growing. The demand has increased because the global supply chain is hard to understand. In this article, we'll talk about how many freight forwarders there are in the UK. Contents: how many freight forwarders are there in the UK? What challenges will these freight forwarders face? Lack of containers. Changing laws and regulations. Not enough labours. Shipping prices change a lot. How many freight forwarders are there in the UK? The number of freight forwarders in the UK has grown significantly in the last 5 years. This is mainly because highways and ports are getting crowded, and a lot of freight needs to get through these crowded areas quickly. The UK is the most significant freight importer in the world, and its exports make up more than 40% of all exports worldwide. There are a lot more rules about freight forwarding than there are about any other kind of business. Second, there is no such thing as a freight forwarder that isn't free, and shipping costs worldwide differ significantly from those in the UK and vary from country to country in Europe. Most of the time, it takes more than 1 day to sail from one country's coast to another. Freight forwarders are in charge of making sure that all the paperwork needed to ship goods is ready. Also, they deal with a wide range of documents every day, such as bills and invoices, import, export declarations, bills of lading, and many other shipping papers that their clients or the laws of the exporting, importing, and transients countries require. Also, keeping clients informed about the status and location of their shipments is one of the essential parts of the job. What challenges will these freight forwarders face? Freight forwarders need to know what their clients want. They must be able to make suggestions and offer solutions tailored to each client's needs. But the most significant challenges freight forwarders face with them include lack of containers. Suppose you've been in the business for a while. You may have noticed that getting shipping space has become more challenging since the pandemic started. This is happening for several reasons, one of which is that shipping ships will be fewer because demand will be lower. The problem has worsened because of port congestion, shown by more extended dwell and transit times. In other words, containers can't keep going at the same speed as before because it takes them longer to make a single delivery. Because of this and the high customer demand, there is minimal shipping space available. Changing laws and regulations. Since the freight forwarders is so vital to the economy, politicians and lawmakers often discuss it. Policy changes can cause affected parties to change and respond immediately, which can have ripple effects throughout the industry. Every part of the transportation chain is now affected by something, whether a possible strike, a problem, or people not having jobs. Even if you don't feel the effects of a change immediately, you will likely find it at some point. Not enough laborers. Even though the pandemic seems to be ending, industries worldwide are still having trouble finding workers, and freight forwarding are no different. Many freight forwarders need help finding the people they need because of health concerns. Closed borders, and competition from other industries. In 2021, the rate of people leaving their jobs in the trade, transportation, and utilities industry fell from 60.4% to 54.5%, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Shipping prices change a lot. Shipping prices have been a big deal in the business world for a long time, especially since they hit an all-time high in the fall of 2022. It can be hard to predict freight rates because many things can affect them, such as fuel prices, seasonal surcharges, labor costs, and political crises. Working in freight forwarders means that you will always have to deal with uncertain prices. But as a freight forwarder, it can be incredibly annoying when shippers ask many questions every time the rate changes.